Hello and welcome to the Help Kids Talk Basic Awareness Training webinar. We're really looking forward to sharing some information with you about the Help Kids Talk initiative. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Sarah Ratcliffe and I'm the Help Kids Talk coordinator for the project based here in Lisburn. We'll just start with some housekeeping. If you're doing this pre-recorded webinar as a group, can we just ask that you all register individually and that you all complete any of the surveys, the pre and post surveys, individually as well. You will all be getting a copy of the presentation and links to the videos via email, and you will also get a copy of your certificate following completion of our training and our survey. We're going to cover three main topics within the webinar. So information around Help Kids Talk project, the information around baby brain development and infant mental health, and information around speech, language and communication. We will have some questions for you as we go along, so it might be an idea just to grab a pen and paper so that you can write down some of your thoughts and ideas. Please also feel free to pause the webinar if you're doing this in a group so that you can discuss those questions together. So we're going to begin the session with some statistics to set the scene for the Help Kids Talk initiative and why it was needed. So in some of the most disadvantaged communities in Northern Ireland, research has shown that children are starting preschool with a language delay or difficulty. So in 2016, research was carried out within the Southeastern Trust area. 172 children were looked at within that piece of research within socio-economically deprived areas. And of that total sample, it was revealed that 26% of children had difficulty in at least one area of language. There's also been research done within the Lisburn area that showed that 32% of children were starting school with a language delay or difficulty. And in the Colin area, that percentage is 41%. And in the Downpatrick area, that percentage is 28%. And we know that children with speech, language and communication needs are at a high risk of difficulties with reading, writing and spelling. We also know that vocabulary at age 5 is a very strong predictor of qualifications achieved at school leaving age. And without effective help, over a third of children that have speech, language and communication difficulties then go on to require support from mental health services later in life. There's also been research done to show that over 60% of young offenders have speech, language and communication difficulties. So what are your thoughts on these figures? Many people have commented that they found these figures shocking and surprising and that they found the figures very high. And we recognised that there needed to be something done to target these this piece of research and to target these figures. And that's really why the Help Kids Talk initiative came about. We're now going to watch a short 4-minute video which just explains the importance of speech, language and communication in relation to mental health.
Me and my best friend had an argument last year when we were alone at school. It was so bad we didn't want to talk to each other afterwards. I was really angry but told myself to calm down and find a way to work it out. I went over to her and said sorry. We talked about the argument and then she laughed and said what a silly thing it was to argue about.
Language is an important tool for managing how we feel in different situations and discussing feelings with others. Some young people do not develop language as expected and may not have the words or complex sentences needed to discuss their feelings. Our research for the Surrey Communication and Language in Education Study, or SCALES, has found that 7.5% of children have such unexplained language difficulties, known as developmental language disorder, or DLD. SCALES has tracked the language development of approximately 500 children with and without DLD from reception class up to year 8. We found that even at school entry, teachers reported that children with DLD had more symptoms of social, emotional and behavioural problems. At the end of primary school, when the children were aged 11, teachers reported that children with DLD had poor mental health outcomes, including higher rates of peer problems, conduct problems, attention problems, and emotional problems. We also found that children with DLD had more difficulty identifying and explaining the emotions of others.
When I get stressed, I can't talk, so it's hard for people to help me. I cry and I want to say stuff, but I just can't.
Language is a fundamental skill for academic and social success. Children with DLD are therefore more likely to leave school with fewer qualifications and have more trouble finding employment relative to peers without DLD. This has been found in research studies around the world, in the UK, US, Australia, Canada, and countries like Singapore, where children learn more than one language.
A supply teacher couldn't understand that I didn't know what a greenhouse was. I thought he meant green house, not a house made of glass. I couldn't explain it and he didn't have the patience to find out. This made me really stressed.
So how good does language need to be to support good mental health? Our research suggests that there may be a minimum threshold of good enough language, beyond which having more words and more complex sentences isn't related to even better mental health. Instead, the risk for poor mental health is amplified when language deficits are most severe. Not all children with language difficulties will have poor mental health, though. Other factors are likely to be important, like a family history of mental illness, low family income, and other developmental conditions like autism or ADHD. Parents and professionals should therefore carefully monitor the mental health of children with DLD so they can spot signs early. Currently, most adolescents that are referred to mental health services are offered talking therapies.
Right now I need support with my anxiety. This is especially hard for me because people support you with talking. My CAMS worker is getting to know how to communicate with me. He checks what we've said, recaps it at the end, and takes a photo of what we write down so I can talk about it with my mum.
It is really important that we ensure therapies are tailored to meet the needs of these vulnerable children.
So that video just helps set the context for Help Kids Talk. So Help Kids Talk was launched in March 2020. It's a project within Lisburn funded by the Lisburn City and Castlereagh Council. And the project aims to help children be the best they can be, to make children's development in speech, language and communication everyone's responsibility, and to make a difference to children's lives together. And our vision is that everyone in the community will work together to help kids talk. So whether that be parents, grandparents, childminders, or anyone within an organisation that works with children. So how do we achieve this? Well, there are 4 main strands to the Help Kids Talk initiative. We have key messages that are delivered every month through Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And these really serve as guidance to parents, caregivers and those working with children to support children's communication development. We also have basic awareness training, which is this webinar. And the aim of this is to increase awareness of speech, language and communication for everyone who has any responsibility for a child. We're also in the process of developing more training, and if you would like more information about that, you can contact us using the email address at the end of this presentation. Early Talk Bus is an intervention programme that is available in most playgroups and nurseries within Lisburn, and it improves children's attention and listening skills, their understanding of words and sentences, and it also improves their speaking and communication. TalkBoost is also available in most primary schools in Lisburn, and it boosts children's ability in conversations, their sentences, their storytelling skills, and their social interaction by an average of 9 to 18 months. Okay, so as adults, we know that for our physical health and well-being, we should do things like eat 5 fruit and veg per day to help us have a healthy body. We should also stay active, connect, keep learning, and give. And for adults, these are sometimes referred to as Take 5 or the 5 ways to well-being. If you want any more information on adult mental health, you can visit www.mindingyourhead.info. But what 5 things do we need for a healthy baby brain and for speech, language, and communication development? Well, we need to respond, cuddle, relax, play, and talk with our infants. And this is going to ensure that their brains develop in a healthy and holistic way. And we call these the building blocks for baby brain development. So if we put it really simply, parents and caregivers are brain builders. So what do we mean when we talk about 5 to thrive? We know that a child's social, emotional, and language development is as important as their physical development. And we also know more about baby brain development now. And research has shown that the optimum time for development of the brain is from conception to age 3. However, it's never too late to build children's brains, and we all need to make sure that we play our part in this. So Kate Cairns Associates looked at all the evidence behind baby brain development and infant mental health, and they concluded that it is these 5 seemingly simple tasks that directly affect the quality of attachment between a parent or caregiver and a child. And they called this the 5 to thrive approach. The quality of an infant's attachment with their main caregiver affects all areas of development. And so we need to do all that we can to ensure that they develop the most secure attachment possible. For more information on 5 to Thrive training or resources, you can contact the email addresses at the bottom of this slide. Okay, so the first building blocks, and this really is about working out what your baby needs or your child needs and being able to tune into them. So just think for a second about how it feels when you tell somebody something and you know that they're not really listening and they're not paying attention. Well, you're probably going to feel demotivated or deflated, and you might not want to try talking to them again. So 2 of the speech, language, and communication messages that we have within Help Kids Talk fit within this respond block. The first one is words by one, make talking fun. Copy my actions, sounds, and words. So by responding to a child's or a baby's actions, sounds, and words, we open up that channel of communication and we introduce the idea of turn taking. And for a baby, these can really be the start of very early conversations. The second message here is talk to me before I'm born. Think of the bond that we will form. We know that talking and singing to babies in the womb is so important and helps to develop the attachment between the parent and the child. Babies learn so many things before they're born, and at around 16 to 20 weeks, they can actually hear your voice and other sounds from the womb. So just take a minute now to think about how you respond to children within your particular setting, whether that be your home or your workplace or somewhere else. So hopefully you've had a chance to have a little think about that. And some of the ideas that people have shared before have been about getting down to a child's level, listening to them and responding to what they're saying, making eye contact and responding to those non-verbal cues like their body language and their facial expressions. So we're now going to watch a 3-minute video made by the Belfast Speech and Language Therapy team alongside some parents. And this video is called changing time is chatting time. While you watch this video, I just want you to think about how the parent supported that child and how their interaction impacted upon the nappy change time.
Talking with your baby helps make brain connections that are vital for all aspects of your baby's social, emotional, language and learning development. Your baby needs you to smile, talk, laugh and sing in a calm and loving way to help their brain to grow. Let's see how Caitlin's dad uses nappy changing time to do this.
Did you get any peace? No.
When Dad smiles, Caitlin smiles back. Dad's love makes her feel safe. She is calm, content, and ready to chat.
Yes, Daddy. How much of that hand are you going to fit in there?
When Dad talks, Caitlin loves to listen. Then it's Dad's turn to listen while Caitlin talks to him.
Who's kicking Daddy? Who's that kicking Daddy? Is that you? Yeah.
When Dad and Caitlin laugh together, their bond gets even stronger. That bond of love will last a lifetime and will help Caitlin to grow and flourish.
Is that funny? Daddy's in a silly face? Yeah. Yeah. Is that a funny one? Yeah.
When Dad sings to Caitlin, she hangs on his every word. She's learning sounds and the words they make. Her brain's getting ready for talking and reading.
Smile, talk, laugh and sing, laugh and sing. Smile and talk, laugh and sing, laugh and sing. When you do your poo, it's a very smelly thing. Smile and talk, laugh and sing, laugh and sing.
Make changing time, chatting time. When you do, you're making a difference for your baby that will last a lifetime.
So how did the parents' interaction impact on the nappy changing time? Again, just take a minute now to write down some of your thoughts or observations. So some of you may have commented that he made it a very happy, relaxed time, or that he made it a very fun time where they were both just taking time to just interact and connect with one another. He also used it as an opportunity to get face to face with his little girl, and he was responding to all her noises and facial expressions, and she just lit up when he did that. Changing time can be a really wonderful opportunity for you to bond and connect with your baby. So we'll move on now to the second block, and we will refer to this as cuddle or engage. And we use cuddle or engage interchangeably. So we might talk about cuddling a baby, whereas we might talk about engaging when we're talking about an older child. And engaging can include all types of close proximity. So it might be hugging a child, but it might just be sitting down next to them or giving them a high five. So babies and children need cuddles and other loving touch for healthy development. And when you're close to another person who matters to you, your body begins to work in tune with theirs. So when they feel excited, their heart beats faster, and so does yours. And when they feel calm or happy and relaxed, their heart beats slower, and so does yours. A baby is not able to regulate their own feelings or emotions, and so they really need someone to co-regulate with. And that's usually their parent or caregiver. So we would recommend that you cuddle your baby as often as you like. So oxytocin is known as the cuddle hormone, and it's released during bonding, and it will help both the parent and the baby to feel calm, happy, and secure. Children and young people are also less able to self-regulate, just like babies, because they have an immature nervous system, and so they too really need to connect with adults that can co-regulate, that they can co-regulate with. It's important, I suppose, as well to just mention here that it's we need to recognize and respect the space of children as they grow older. So they might not always want to hug you or cuddle you, and that is absolutely fine. But we need to look for other ways then that we can provide them with that reassurance and that connection that they need. So it might mean that you give their shoulders a rub, or that you just spend time sitting close to them on the sofa. As well, I just want to mention that toddlers really love giving as well as receiving all these different types of physical contact. So you can encourage them to cuddle and connect with their teddies and their toys as well. So 2 of the key messages that we have fit within this cuddle or engage block. The first one is books are fun for everyone. You can turn a page at any age. We know that reading really helps develop early communication skills, and sharing books together is such a lovely, close, interactive activity that you can do with your child from absolutely any age. The second message within the Cuddle or Engage block is take your place face to face. I learn the most when you are close. So being face to face with a baby or a child allows you to respond and engage with all their facial expressions and all their communication attempts. So how can you engage warmly with the children in your setting? Again, when I say setting, I mean either your home or your workplace, wherever it is relevant. Take a minute now to think about that. So hopefully you've had an opportunity there to jot down some of your ideas or to discuss it with one another. Watching, listening and responding to what a child is interested in can help maintain their attention for longer and can lead to more opportunities for chatting or conversation. So we'll move on now to the third building block, and the third building block is relax. When a parent or a caregiver relaxes, this helps a baby or a child to relax too. Everyone relaxes differently, but as adults, it's really important that we know how we relax so that we can teach our babies and children how to relax too. And again, this is all about being able to regulate your emotions. One idea around relaxing is to try and end exciting play with wind down time, where you and the child can just spend some time together enjoying a few moments of calm. And this can also be really helpful when you want to transition from one activity to the next. So 2 of the key messages that we share in Help Kids Talk fit within this relax block. The first is kind words and gentle touch help me explore and learn so much. Using kind and positive words with babies and children is so important for their development. The words that we use with a child will become a child's inner voice. The second message within the relax block is make our home language #1 so we can talk, play and have fun. Parents should be encouraged to speak with their children in the language that they're most comfortable with. And when you communicate with children in your home language, that supports attachment, identity, understanding, and self-esteem. And it also really creates a relaxed home environment. So firstly, how do you relax? Again, we often have different ideas and comments shared at this point. Some people like to relax by going out for a walk and doing some exercise, being outdoors. Other people prefer to cuddle on the sofa, watch a movie, maybe have a glass of wine, maybe have a bath. So again, it's just important to recognise that we all relax differently. And now think about, how do the children that you know relax? What helps them to relax or unwind? Again, we've had different ideas shared here, and that's brilliant, because it is just supporting that idea that we all recognise that we all relax differently. So some people say that their children, or the children that they know, relax by getting snuggly and reading some books together, maybe having a bath, and some other people say maybe watching TV, or going outside, or jumping on the trampoline, or something active like that. So again, all the children that we know will relax differently. So it's just important to think about it, and think about what it is that helps you to relax, and the children that you know to relax as well. Okay, so the fourth building block is play. And play isn't just fun, it's also the best way for children to learn. And just to share a powerful quote here about the importance of play. Play is the work of a child. Play is a brain-building activity, and it builds positive patterns in the brain for all aspects of development: physical, social, and emotional. So 2 of our key messages that we share in Helps Kids Talk fit around play. The first is, play your part right from the start. I need you to talk and play every day. As discussed, play is so vital for development, and play works best when you're on the same level as the child. So that might mean getting down on the floor with them, or it might mean just sitting next to them at the table. But when you are at the same level as the child, that allows you to be face to face and to make eye contact with them. And that is really important. It's also really important to follow the child's lead in play. This will not only help them to engage for longer, but it also teaches them that their ideas and their decisions have value and are important. The second message here is less watching, more talking. Put everything away and just sing, talk, and play. Another little quote just to share here: toys are great, but the best toy in the world for me is you. So how often do play opportunities arise in your home or in your workplace? Again, just take a minute to think about that. Hopefully, you've all said that there are opportunities on a daily basis for the children that you know to engage in play. And it's really important for us to recognise the value and importance of that. But for those parents that may be thinking, we don't have that same opportunity for play within the home environment, we're now going to watch another short video. And this again was made by the Belfast Speech and Language Therapy team alongside parents. And it's called Anytime is Chatting Time. And again, while you watch this video, I want you to think about what the parents are doing to support their children.
During the first 3 years of life, your child's brain is making brain connections faster than it ever will again.
Yes.
Like this one?
We need this one, don't we? But we don't need blue milk, sure we don't?
I need a green milk.
Green milk? Okay.
Chatting together is the perfect way to make these brain connections. They'll get your child's brain ready to talk, to think, to concentrate, to make friends, and to be happy.
Oh, wow, there's lots. Lots. Hi, birdies.
No.
Go. You want to start? Good girl. Mummy blue. Another fork. 2 forks.
And the great news is that any time can be chatting time. We can smile, talk, laugh, and sing with our toddlers any time throughout the day. And your words will work wonders.
2 bits of pasta. A camel.
When Mum smiles, Caitlin smiles back.
Maybe.
Through a smile, Caitlin feels her mum's love. And that makes her feel safe, secure, and ready to learn.
Funny camel noises. Who's next?
The bond between them is like nutritious soil for Caitlin's brain connections to grow in.
A snake. Good girl.
Talking is a two-way thing.
That lovely.
Mum waits to see what Gracie's interested in and then responds with a comment about it.
What's this pen over there?
That's his mummy over there.
Then Gracie gets time to take her turn.
It's his mommy.
That's his mummy. Yes.
That's daddy.
That's his daddy. Must be.
Mama.
Must be.
Okay.
No matter where you are or what you're doing, you can make everyday stuff into something interesting to chat about.
Welcome to see. I can hear some Nino, Nino. Look, you're coming down. Oh, fair again. Nino, Nino. What's that? Do you see Anne?
When Lucy and Mum laugh together, the bond between them gets even stronger. That bond builds a secure foundation for Lucy's future.
Ding, 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 ding. Ready? Up to the sky. Up, 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 up. Ding, 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 ding. Again. Stump, stump.
Also, researchers tell us that children learn more easily when they laugh and have fun. Lucy's learning lots of words while she has fun in the park with her mum.
Oh, you're going to go down. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Are you holding on? Careful. Oh, careful.
When Mum and Caitlin sing together, Caitlin learns to listen carefully. She hears lots of new words over and over, and soon she'll be saying them.
Babies on the bus go. Wow, wow, wow. All day long. And the wheels on the bus go. There's someone.
Looking at books is another great time to hear new words. Mum isn't worried about reading the words in the book. She just talks about what Lucy is interested in.
Squirrels hiding. Oh, squirrels hiding behind the yummy apples. Will we put the clothes in?
Make any time chatting time. You'll feel the joy of being with your toddler, and chatting together with you makes a difference to them that'll last the rest of their lives. Your words really do work wonders.
Okay, so what were the parents doing in those videos to support their children? Hopefully you've been writing down some of your observations as you watch that video, and that video is just rich with so many brilliant examples of interacting with children. So some observations, the parents were often getting down to the level of the child, and they were making sure that they were face to face, so that they could make eye contact and respond to their child's facial expressions and their child's communication. They were also following the child's lead, following the child's interest. So, for example, when the child was pointing at the animals in the field, her mummy responded to that and responded to her interest in what she was looking at. And they were also doing lots of turn taking, so listening to the child and then responding to them. And what I really love about that video is that the parents were using any and every opportunity to communicate and chat with their child. So even those daily activities like doing the washing up or doing shopping, you can use those as opportunities to chat with your child. And using language that is related to the activity is going to really help support them to develop their speech, language and communication skills. Okay, so we'll move on to the fifth and final building block, which is talk. A child's brain requires language in order to make sense of their experiences. And so just like we saw in the Anytime is Chatting video, it's really important that we talk to children about everyday experiences. And as we do that, we're contributing to strong and healthy baby brain development. And we're also supporting their communication development. So we have 4 key messages that fit within this talk block. The first one is sing a rhyme anytime, start your child learning for a lifetime. We know that singing rhymes is very powerful for children's communication development and for later reading and writing skills. The second message on this slide is crawlers to walkers, babblers to talkers. Talking is as important as walking. Communication milestones are just as important as those more visual and physical milestones, such as crawling and walking. The third message around the talk block is talk and sing wherever we go. That will help my brain to grow. Everyday activities bring with them so many opportunities to talk and sing, as we've just seen in the Anytime is Chatting Time video. And talking through experiences helps children to make sense of them. And singing is great, and you don't have to be the best singer with the best voice. Your child will just love to hear your voice. And the fourth and final message around the talk block is add some words to what I say. I'll learn to use sentences as we talk and play. So you can simply add a little bit of language to what your child says, and this will help them move towards using sentences. So if your child says ball, you can respond with yes, a big ball, just adding a few words to what they've said. So that's all of our key messages, and it's an introduction for you to the Help Kids Talk initiative. Hopefully you can all recognise the relevance and the importance of this project within our community. And moving forward, we would love you to think about how you're going to take this into your home, into your workplace, and into the wider community to support children with their communication. We'd really love you to play your role in helping us to achieve our aims. This really is about the community working together. So we'd love you to get involved with sharing our monthly messages and to continue to raise awareness of the Help Kids Talk initiative and really to keep it as a priority. There is some further information here for parents and those supporting young children. And just to let you know, children take everything in. So even the smallest things that you do can really make a big difference for a child. So the Hungry Little Minds website has some lovely ideas for simple activities for supporting development across various age groups. And the Hungry Little Minds is the government campaign linked to BBC Tiny Happy People. And you will see links to the BBC Tiny Happy People through our social media. The ICANN website has some lovely information around ages and stages of development, specifically in relation to speech, language and communication. So that's also worth checking out. The South Eastern Trust Speech and Language Therapy team also have a Pinterest board with lots of different ideas for parents and those working with children. And it can be found by searching CYP SLT on Pinterest. And that stands for Children and Young People's Speech and Language Therapy. Help Kids Talk is on social media, so please do go and check us out either on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter. And we use those to share our monthly messages, but also to share lots of tips and ideas and activities. So it's really worth going on there and finding us. If you've got any questions, you can email us. Our email is at the end of this presentation, so just get in touch with us via email. And again, I would really appreciate it if you all just took the time to complete our survey. We really hope that it's been a useful webinar and that you've all enjoyed it. And again, if you're interested in any further training or want any more information, you can contact us on helpkidstalk@resurgamtrust.com.